And who doesn't love a good show that involves pedophiles getting caught? Welcome back. I do want to say, for some reason, there was an episode last week. It might seem like I took a week off. I didn't. We watched Shark Tank, and for some reason, it's only available on Podbean. I don't know if Shark Tank. They are weird. They only allow so many episodes to be like aired on Hulu and whatnot, and I have a feeling that just having Shark Tank in the title of the episode caused Spotify and Apple and other things not to like transport it, I'm going to say. But we're here to watch pedophiles get caught trying to stick their dick in something wrong, right? So there is a new show called Undercover, Underage. It is on Disney Plus. Surprisingly, it's from 2021, so I don't know what channel they took it from, but I'll find out before this is posted. My wife actually brought this to my attention because I used to love laughing at these pedophiles and their miserable excuses on To Catch a Predator, and she thought that this would be similar. Kind of, but let's watch the first episode of season 1 called Every Aspect Matters. Again, I know it's on Discovery Plus. I'll find out where else we can watch it. I'm sure that there's probably an episode on YouTube or something. Let's count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's play. Now, for Discovery Plus, and I know I am heavily against paying for not having commercials shown, but we do have ad-free Discovery Plus. Forgive me. Yeah, I don't think this show is just like To Catch a Predator because it's a little bit slower. It's a lot more focused on the female Chris Hansen. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of hers, but the pedophiles do cause me a lot of laughter. What they do is awful, let there be no mistake. I don't understand why people fuck children. But they do, and it's gross. We're playing Tiddlywinks. Have you ever played Tiddlywinks? They mask everyone's voice, just like this guy, so they all sound the same. So this is the star of the show, aside from the pedophiles. Now, I don't think this woman is cut out for this job, and we'll get into why. Even though she's doing the Lord's work. She's 38. She doesn't look 38, but she also doesn't look like a teenager. And she's a mom of 3, so good for her maintaining a somewhat slender frame, though the more you look at her, the more you just tear apart the 15-year-old personas that she creates, because it's like, you ain't 15. Yeah, you did. So here's the thing. I don't understand how she manages to get any pedophiles to do anything. Because as you'll see, they spend most of their time trying to see a titty or some skin or something. She never gives them anything. To the best of my knowledge, based on what they show, she never even, like, gets into any sexual conversation with them. Now, I'm not a pedophile, but if I'm trying to hit on a woman and every time I go one way, she goes the other, eventually I'm going to think she's not interested and move on. They never seem to. But again, I don't pretend to understand pedophiles. And to her credit, she does have a team of people helping her to look like she's 15. But they do a lot of live chatting, and that looks like a grown woman. She's at least in her 20s.
someone, he's an older man.
In order to protect the identities of those who find us online, we give them each a pseudonym. This man will be called Kevin.
And at first I didn't understand why they're giving these creeps pseudonyms, but some of them don't actually ever get charges pressed or arrested or anything, so you can't just be like, Jeffrey. Jeffrey whatever is a pedophile. Yeah, but there's no charges. Allegedly is what I meant to say. Allegedly, he fucks kids.
Preying on minors online continues to be a growing concern. Adults send nude images, coerce
This
minors
girl with the
into
pink hair, I wish that they would
and
just
lure them to meet
blur
violence.
her face. I hate looking at it. I hate looking at her hair
Go
too.
unpunished, and so they're not fearful of the law because they don't think anyone's, one, reporting it, and two, able to find them. And then he asks, would you like to get together, would you like to go out? And Flory, to kind of push again that she's quite young, she says, I'm too young to get a drink, but I'd love to eat.
Then eating it is. We'll get a happy meal. I don't want you to eat too much.
He clearly knows the law. He says you would need to be 16. Right. Flory's feigning a little ignorant and saying, oh, wait, why? And then he sort of deflects and says we could still grab some food.
Right? We're just hanging out. I'm just a grown man hanging out with a kid that's not mine. In a restaurant of your choosing. Somewhere dark.
This man is clearly looking for sex.
Said every woman
Context of
ever.
our personas is explicitly told from the outset that they're speaking to a 15-year-old girl, and it takes our entire team to sustain that belief.
Okay, I'm changing the Flory.
A persona is a decoy, a fictitious character. In the house, we've set up 3 bedrooms belonging to 3 teenage personas. No one.
I know I've said it before. I would never, if I for some reason, I don't know what to call their condition. I'm going to say if I was sick, like these people, as I often joke with my wife, I'm not taking a chance trying to harm some kid or get arrested and fucked up in prison. I will draw a naked child on a piece of paper, masturbate to it, and then eat the piece of paper. There's no evidence.
This girl's not just a TikTok queen. This is crazy embarrassing. So, who are they in their downtime when no one else is watching?
She looks like a 38-year-old trying to be a teenager right there. You can't dance. Don't ever dance again.
They've recently moved from Brooklyn. They purposefully made Flory Beth really emotionally fragile. She's never known her dad, really. We put in our due diligence when we made these characters.
All right, she's never known her dad. Even they know. Well, a lot of women who don't know their dads do some pretty promiscuous things.
In my head, I'm going, have you aged out? Maybe
Yes.
pull off a high voice, or maybe you no longer pull off being teen, or maybe you're out of touch with teens, and no one's gonna believe you. That is a little nerve-wracking. You tell me how to get my body.
It should be, especially when you cross that 40 threshold in a couple of years.
For a living, I'm a photographer and retoucher, usually focusing in like fashion, beauty, lifestyle, tech, food. And for the team for this, I'm the visuals lead. Right now, I'm kind of doing all of the key things that would take place during age regression. So I am taking out any sort of like neck wrinkles, anything that shows Marie's true age. Start of being right to 15, 16-year-olds. Usually the goal of retouching is like make the picture look perfect. This is make something believable.
Kevin requests a video call with our persona Flory.
All right, now Kevin.
Video chats are
For those of you who enjoy this, I'm just going to say Kevin is going to be a little bit of a recurring character.
What's that now? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, run downstairs, get the photo of me and my mom. Got it.
perpetrators are always concerned they might be talking to law enforcement. Appearing on a video chat as a 15-year-old persona builds an essential level of trust and allows me the opportunity to gain information to discover their identity.
Can I get a time check? You have 8 minutes.
I am nervous about talking to this guy at 10. When I do a video chat, I mean, I sweat my way through it. It's very nerve-wracking. It's intense. I'm always scared that something's going to give me up. Whether it's my hands, being older, or my voice. It's so hard to pretend you're someone else, much less someone that's a lot younger than me. So it's panicky, for sure. I won't lie about that.
What time is it, guys?
9:57. We don't have a lot of time. You have the braces?
Ah, braces! Oh, here they are.
And your laptop's gonna stay right there, right?
Yes.
can't edit. It's a huge risk. We decide to comply. Building trust with him is vital.
Good luck.
B-15. Let's start by eating food with your mouth open. I feel like that's what a lot of teenage girls do, and they think it looks cute, and I always wanted to just be like, chew with your mouth closed.
If we lose them, we fear they'll move on to abuse an actual minor. Oh my god, he's typing. It's a relief. Kevin buys that Flory is a 15-year-old girl. But the video call hasn't begun, and we're not sure why. He said that he is naked, and that you can't call me right now.
Now, some of these dudes do get pretty ballsy. I don't understand why they're like live chatting with somebody like her for just to masturbate and have somebody watch them.
An adult sending pornographic material to a minor is a crime.
Because that's what chat roulette was for.
So in order for perpetrators to be charged and brought to justice, we need law enforcement's insight.
Do you think this is one of those cases that where there's smoke there's fire and he probably has done some stuff that's illegal?
To me, what you're telling me, what he's saying to you, he's a seasoned predator.
My name is Mark Sudo with the North Police Department. I've been involved in all kinds of local, state, and federal task forces.
I'm an investigator in the Special Searches Unit, and my unit investigates narcotics, gangs, and vice. So we deal with a lot of human trafficking, prostitution cases.
The way these guys go after some of these kids and the predator end of it, it's unfortunate for a lot of families, but that's our job and that's what we're here for, to take these guys off the street.
Would this be enough to get a warrant to search his phone or his computer or his home?
All you need is probable cause.
But we just don't know who he is.
We don't know who he is.
Once we ID him, pretty much the investigation starts rolling. So once we get a search warrant, we can go in, we can search his house, take his phones, any tablets, computers, see what we turn up with that. But this particular guy right here, there's no doubt in my mind he's a seasoned predator.
We need to gain more information about his identity.
Something that is crucial every time that you're talking to an ACM, an adult contacting minor, is the way that you're going to be engaging and speaking with them.
I ask Shelby like every little detail because I personally am not very like versed on all the intricacies of each persona.
The only thing he knows about her so far is like her mom left, lives with aunt because dad moved in with girlfriend. I came in today and I had 50 chat requests. It can be tricky when someone's asking you rapid fire questions, trying to figure out if you're real or not. And they want to know like, how much do you weigh? How tall are you? Where do you actually live? What's your sign? When were you born? What's your birthday?
We're not using the 16 years old hashtag anymore for it, right?
Instead of hashtag junior, I'm saying hashtag freshman, hashtag 15 years old, like most teen girls. These personas have the same username across the board. If I say that I'm a Capricorn on Reddit, I've got to make sure I'm always saying I'm a Capricorn in all my other platforms. When I mentioned, I'm 15, is that okay? They replied,
Yeah, I can wait. And none of these dudes, like, they already know somebody's probably trying to gun for them. None of them are just like, oh, I don't even want to have sex with you. I just wanted to get to know you and wait a few years. There's nothing wrong with that. We can get together and have pizza. I'll never touch you. Not till you're legal. They need to read the Creep's Handbook. And for those of you questioning, I don't really think there is one. I'd write it, but I would never want to attach my name to it. I'd have to be like Dr. Thuth or something, one of those pseudonyms.
No, other way around. I need to show him this corner. That has nothing. It's a risk. But it may also be our last opportunity to identify him.
And she's like, in other past relationships, I would hate it when people would just ask me questions in a row. Sneak those shits into conversation because I'm not here for an interrogation. And she'll just question after question after question, and I'm like, that's suspicious as fuck.
Hi. I can't see you.
You don't need to see me. Yeah, every time that one of them laughs at themselves, that scummy laugh gets me every time. What 15-year-old doesn't smile in a picture? I caught you. My dick's going back in my pants. You see what you did?
So cute.
It's been 3 days since a man calling himself Kevin reached out to our 15-year-old persona, Flory.
He's sending a photo right at the outset and still talking to her even though she's only 15.
An ACM, an adult contacting a minor, will usually go to great lengths to conceal their identity. He knows he's committing a crime.
Oh, I almost forgot to mention, yes, I have watched the Will Smith smack more times than I could count. If I had to guess, I'm going to say 35 times. It gets funnier every time I see it.
Kevin's still remains.
I feel bad because Chris Rock definitely didn't deserve to be slapped like that, especially publicly, over what he said.
Well, can you I don't know, the paragraph.
But it still tickles me. I like violence. Now, some of these guys are good enough to know that they should probably lie and not give away their identity.
Do you have any sons?
Mind your business.
Do you have any daughters? So you have 4 kids? And how many wives have you had? Yeah. I don't know.
Right? And that's another thing that confuses me about pedophiles. Like, let's say that this is a 15-year-old. This conversation would drive me insane. What'd you learn in school today? What the fuck do I care?
All right, have a good night.
Like, oh, did you see that new TikTok? Nah, I don't like social media like that. What am I thinking? But again, I'm not a pedophile, so perhaps they enjoy conversations that I used to roll my eyes through when I was a teenager.
He's semi-retired, and he owns property, and he rents them out. Like, I want to say maybe he owns an apartment building. I think he mentioned a couple houses.
Yeah, man, and if you own an apartment building, shame on you.
He has a brother.
Getting all that money. You can't find some grown woman who's just petite and can wipe her ass? Again, I assume that most young people don't wipe well enough.
A big list of all the personal details he's given. I think if we see it all together, we can see how things connect.
He's told us how long he's owned his house, how many trees he's planted, to what capacity all of that is true is all up for debate.
Honestly, what it comes down to is all of this information we have, we still don't have this guy's name. We still don't know who he is. We searched via his dog's name, and we've looked at property, and we still don't have enough.
Imagine what kind of a dog freak you'd have to be for somebody to find you based on your dog. You'd have to be like Jay in Modern Family. A shrine to my dog.
One of the most challenging parts of what we do is submitting to a perpetrator's demands.
And again, she never submits to their demands. Like if they ask her to take her shirt off, she does have on like a very big bra underneath, but a lot of these dudes are quite graphic with their demands, and she doesn't give in at all.
Look like 15-year-old feet.
And she might have 15-year-old feet. I don't know what feet look like on a kid because I wasn't into them back when I was a kid. I tell you this though, if they show her legs, she's got grown lady legs. A lot of marks on them. She's lived.
Okay, what's your favorite restaurant? Do you live downtown? Can you like walk to all the cool spots?
Right? Like, tell me that question wasn't suspicious. Right?
I told you to ask me some, and you didn't have any for me.
Might as well have asked for fucking geographic location. And tell me your coordinates. Tell me where you live.
Exactly how much information to give us, or how little, to keep from revealing his identity.
He said he recently remodeled, and so I noticed here that the curtains change. Same bathroom each time, so we know it's his home at a hotel. I'm just trying to dump everything I've got so far.
My goodness. You sound like a father. Except for that scummy laugh right after it.
We've hit a wall with Kevin. And the next morning, a concerning new ACM reaches out to Flory.
He's claiming to be 50. He looks like he's at least 60. What's interesting is that his display name seems to be a first name and a last name. So I am going to look it up and see if I can actually find him. It is not a fake name. I have an address and a landline. So this tactic that he's using is something that we call the white knight tactic.
Yeah, I'm a white knight.
By saying,
And you know the white is semen. I was making the joke. I'm sorry, but I had to.
it's a way for them to get a teenager to trust them.
Now, every man wants to have a version. I don't agree. I could be wrong. I could be in the minority. Prefer a little experience. I mean, you don't have to be, the queen of sex, but I'm not here to teach. I'm a bad teacher.
So he knows he's 15. He knows it's a crime. And he just does not care.
Mitch's name and nude photograph are all we need to turn his case over to the authorities. Later that night, 15-year-old Flory receives a new, much more disturbing request from Kevin.
Show me you pooping.
Hey, Shelby? Yeah?
And if I were Kevin, and again, not a pedophile,
Kevin is asking to meet at a hotel.
I would like start a live chat and then just make her watch me as I'm like pulling my ass apart. Now this is assuming that I knew that I'm actually like being set up, but I want to gross you out.
He said, I'll be in the room with my bag of tricks. And so what bag of tricks?
Dildos. Those are the only things that really caught my attention. Right, and have you ever used a strap on? If you like your ass penetrated, why don't you just go find an adult to do that for you? That's not illegal.
In an hour and 20 minutes, I'm going to get ready as Flory.
Probably some dudes on the Lower East Side or the West Village that would be glad to tear your ass to shreds legally.
And an address.
Some of them probably look young.
And in this case, with Kevin,
The goal is not to make an arrest tonight. The goal is to get an ID on him. We're gonna be hopefully grabbing plates from the parking lot.
Your hair is so impossibly pink. No one's hair is that color.
Arouse Detective Sita, our consultant, to monitor Amita without suspicion.
we need to go now.
Okay, let's go.
I crossed a woman in the street who had eyebrows and hair that are kind of similar to this woman. I don't know what the kids are fucking doing these days, because I'm like, you think that looks good? Well, then I must be from another fucking planet.
I mean, the good news is I'm already nervous, so playing a nervous 15-year-old isn't going to be too much of a stretch.
As our consultant, Detective Sita acts as a witness and advisor to our investigation.
That is good that they brought this detective with them. You never know what's going to jump off. I just wish that this show had more, like, she's never in the same place as these pedophiles. Like, not like how Chris Hansen would, like, pop up in the kitchen with them.
There's no telling how he might react.
Now, I don't expect her to put herself in danger, but show up with that dude with them. Like, walk into the restaurant with them or something. Never happens.
Okay, so I just do a walk-in then. I'll walk out right in front of the restaurant.
If he pops out or something,
You can't tell shit in that big hotel. I would be on the roof with binoculars. Like, I see you down there. You almost got me.
you want to get out
I'm going to jack off to a picture I drew and then eat it.
Would drop me off right
right in front, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. He still didn't answer the text though, right?
No.
Okay, hang on.
Before we go into the hotel, Detective Sita changes course. He wants to scout the parking lot first.
I would assume that all these plates are for the diner.
We believe we know the make and model of one of Kevin's cars. If we spot it, We can use the license plate number to ID him.
Assuming he's driving his own car.
Oh my god, stop. He just said that he wants to meet up at 7. He said, yeah, we're gonna have dinner at the Hall.
They can't ever mention like the name of an establishment as though pedophiles own places. Like there's another episode where they actually arrest this dude at a Dick's Sporting Goods, and they won't say Dick's, which is funny for 2 reasons.
We can go over, sit right out front, and let's try to watch him walk in.
The restaurant is in the heart of downtown Stanford. In more densely populated areas, surveillance is a challenge. Does he want to actually meet Tori, or will he be watching us?
I think he's just getting nervous. A little bit.
Yeah. So it's gonna be up here on the right. And we can just take a quick peek in.
Connecticut, where a lot of this show takes place, though she's got some fucking frequent flyer miles because they hit the road quite a bit on this show. Who's funding this? It's a not-for-profit. Non-profit, excuse me.
I don't see anyone at the bar. I don't see anyone that matches him. It's pretty empty. He's not here when it's about 5.
She's already come out. Hold on, who's this?
Okay, hey, I see a car across the street. This tall, he has gray hair. He looks like he could be Kevin.
But is it Kevin? We'll never know.
I'm taking a right walk down the street.
See, he just backed up. Backed up. Can't see the plate. We might have somebody. What do you think?
All these cars in the way, I can't see anything. He's gone.
He's street bleeding. I saw a guy with this description walking across the street, standing in front of the restaurant next to it, leaving his car running. Then he was here. I think
Now, this show was aired a while ago, hence no N95 masks. But I think you'll notice a lot of people just aren't wearing masks, which brings me back to New York City. Because the virus isn't gone, but people are really heading into this spring, because it is spring, hello, like it's 19, like it's 2019 again.
he says he's at a same restaurant but in a different location, which isn't true because he was just at a hotel in the same town. So that's why he was the test. That's why I think he was watching me as I walked in.
Yeah, you don't look 15 at all. At best, you look 22.
I wait at the house in case Kevin reaches back out. But I'm exhausted, and all I want to do is go home to my 3 girls. Wear normal clothes. Not be 15. Just be their mom.
And then, for no reason, because we never discuss her children again, not really. And I'm sure there's a traumatic story, which is why she's dedicated her life to speaking to pedophiles and getting them off the streets if possible. But I don't really see the point in meeting her children voice-wise. I do question, where are they? And where is their father?
On Monday, and you and your sisters have physicals, right? I'll make sure to ask the doctor to get your shot. You're a little adrenaline scared. I love you, okay? I miss you.
I created SOSA not just for my kids, but because the online world gave me that fringe reputation. Every kid needs something.
So, a little disgusting story about myself while she's talking about kids potentially doing stuff with their parents, like right around the corner. So, I'm old enough that America Online was my jam back in the 90s. And I can remember my mom watching Schindler's List. I think I was half paying attention while cybering with God knows who. Just seems very inappropriate, very Seinfeld esque. Like, you did what during Schindler's List? You were making out. Like, she's so emotional. Everything disgusts her, everything makes her cry, which is fine. But maybe this isn't the job for you. If every time that you talk to one of them you need a cold bath, somebody else might have some nerves of steel that's capable of doing this, who might actually Chris Hansen it and walk into the room with them like, hey, sicko, you've been had.
Our ACM continues to contact Floyd, so we can together evidence against him.
Have you hooked up with teens before? Every Monday, I gave her $50 because she was poor. That $50 is an insult, sir, unless it's recurring in perpetuity, which is a callback to the show last week watching Shark Tank. I said in perpetuity a lot. Hopefully someone will get that when they go back. Now, I work at a school, for shame, and I remember now what happens to this dude, so I won't spoil that. But you put it out there. Like, not only are you doing some sick shit, you're bragging about the fact that you work in an environment you should never even be able to see.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since Kevin first reached out to our underage persona, Floyd. Tonight, he messages saying he wants to talk. While it's a relief that Kevin hasn't gone dark, another hours-long conversation would be a challenge.
It's only audio, it's only audio. Hello? Hey. What's your drink?
I let Kevin do what he seems to like to do most. Talk about himself.
Right? Shame on you, Kevin. Don't you know that women and girls like to talk about themselves? How do you even get to I tore 3 ligaments? Like, so we have nothing to talk about then? There's nothing interesting that we can speak about? Also, you'll notice every time, and I almost feel bad, not too bad, but bad for some of these creeps, because every time that she gets them to meet somewhere, she goes, tries to get their license plate, and then cancels. And sometimes does it back to back. And as somebody who's been stood up, I mean, that's unacceptable.
That's what we're looking for now.
Unless I'm wrist deep in a child, how dare you? Come Chris Hansen me inside. Tell me I didn't drive all this way for nothing. Tell me I drove this far to go to prison.
But also, I can't imagine the city he's a literal sponsor, then it's definitely more sanctioned.
I mean, this is massive though, all these sponsors.
God, it is a great time for television this week. Moon Knight is on Disney Plus as of today. Death on the Nile, which is the sequel to Murder on the Orient Express, which are all based on the Poirot novels from, I'm going to say Agatha Christie, but I might be fucking that up. But yeah, love The Last Murder on the Orient Express. Can't wait to see Death on the Nile. I love murder mysteries. And if you thought about Murder, She Wrote just now, you're fucking right.
Pieces of information that don't have a connection.
Where does he live?
Surprised she doesn't just ask a question like, how far are you from the closest Walmart? A mile? 2 miles? Okay, now Mitch, the idiot, here we go. I mean, that is more responsible than people would expect, Mitch. Good for you. I'm not going to catch coronavirus to get some young ass.
And knowing that he has access to minors every single day is incredibly scary. He's infiltrated a safe space, and he's around kids who trust him.
Wait till you see, yeah. This dude is old. In case this little blurred image makes you think he's like a 24-year-old, nah. Right, he was a dude working in the kitchen, 62 years old, so I assume they were trying to give you a chance, and this is what you do on the job. Maybe not on the job, but this is what you do. You're fucking kids and you work here. You could have worked at McDonald's, sir. Bye, Mitch. And now you get to be somebody's condom. I mean, the rest of his life isn't going to be that long for several reasons, so. But it's good he's off the street. Some of us have children. All right, what 15-year-old wants to hear about this?
Another Saturday night.
I'm telling her about, like,
Talking about a woman he's sleeping with.
right?
Says she's upstairs in his bedroom.
But I snuck down to talk to you.
How old is she?
It's a relief that
Why'd you whisper her age?
of age. If I can keep him talking about this mystery woman, maybe her identity can reveal his.
Alright.
Kevin is going out to dinner in Greenwich tonight. Detective Suda and I head down to the area. Once we get the name of the restaurant, we'll wait it out and make an ID.
Okay. We're almost there, right?
Yeah, we're close.
You think we can pull over and take a shit at this gas station? Because what I had before we left is not agreeing with me.
We're in next to a restaurant that Kevin said he is at currently with a date. There are 2 cars that match the description of his own, and we're just kind of watching to see who comes in and out of the restaurant at the moment. Hold on, 2 people coming out.
There's 2 couples coming out.
Yeah, definitely not the one with the woman. So no.
He's at the restaurant, closes in 15 minutes. He says he's still there having after dinner drink, leaving soon. There's only one BMW left in the parking lot. So if he comes out, we've got him direct line of sight.
We're actually parked right next to the one BMW that fits the description.
Okay, we've got two people coming out. Oh, holy sh**. It's a gray-haired man. Oh, but he looks like thin. And a dark-haired woman. And they're going together.
If he's not here, then he has been living out this really strange fantasy, pretending that there's a woman staying with him, conjuring up her pictures, and video chatting with Lori and pretending this woman is just upstairs. And to think that he's doing that in an empty house is unsettling.
Well, here it is. Got the launch your BMW. Yep.
Just another day trying to catch dicks and snap 'em. Not always gonna win, but it's worth it when you feel that snap.
I think he's living a dream in his own little fantasy, and he wants her to believe it.
Right, and it's sad trying to impress a child that much. You know what you need to impress a child? Tickets to a concert. That's all.
Today, I think he's just trying to lure her. The restaurant just turned all the lights on.
That's that.
Hey, boss, I'm supposed to pick this guy up tonight. I don't know if you saw him in here or you ever seen him before? No? Okay. All right, thank you. Have a good night. Now, that LA guy has been pumping all night. He's been chasing these cars down.
He wasn't here tonight. He was never here.
We know what he looks like.
Yeah, like they're very well aware that people are trying to catch them and lock them up for the rest of their lives. Like, I'm just gonna send this person on a little. It's weird though because I'm like, okay, like some of these dudes seem in so much of a rush that it's like, are you not aware that people are looking for you?
Kevin is
But then you get the other ones who are just in this perpetual game of cat and mouse, and it's like, dude, how long does it take you to try? Like a year before you're like, okay, willing to go to prison now.
he has committed crimes in the past, and I think he is on a constant mission to feed his own ego and self-importance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be this week, and it might not be next week, but we'll get him.
So, what'd you guys think? At all like To Catch a Predator? Not really, but I will say there are a couple episodes that get more interesting. I really didn't enjoy the first episode like I was hoping I would, but then as I kept going, I wanted to just let them keep rolling. So, we'll see what you guys think about it. I appreciate it. Might do Moon Knight next. Yeah, probably will, just because I'm very excited to watch that tonight. And I am reviewing Sonic 2 this weekend, so I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. It's a good time to be alive. Did I mention I got my tax return? All right, I'm just babbling. You guys have a good one. Pieces.